Lucy Kellaway is with us too, career in journalism before retraining as a teacher in her 50s. Lucy's now the founder of Now Teach, which encourages other people to follow her path and teach in later life. Lucy, is Mel Stride right that actually, if you're in the over 50s category, maybe you should be a bit more imaginative about the work possibilities that you could explore?
Yeah, I mean, his general message on let's go out there and deliver takeaways was insulting and hateful. And I'm really not about to apply to Deliveroo for a job. But there was one thing that I really liked in what he said, which was that older people shouldn't sort of typecast themselves into doing older people type jobs. And we should think about sort of starting again as if we were in our 20s. And I think this is the missing piece. And your previous speaker spoke a lot of wisdom, but didn't talk about training. I mean, if our working lives are going to last forever, as they seem to be, one career is really not enough. And if you look at the second category of people that he spoke about, those people who have chosen to retire, they may have chosen to retire partly because COVID had showed them that they quite like not working, though that does definitely wear thin after a while. But they may have also been fed up with doing whatever job they were doing. And what I would like to see from the government is an acknowledgement that if our working life lasts 50 years, that one big chunk of training is not enough to sustain that. So I've started Now Teach to try and persuade older people to become teachers. And that's been incredibly successful. We've had about 700 so far. But I would like to see schemes like this started in all sorts of other professions, giving older people a chance to start all over again.
So in terms of how you did that for teaching, what was the process?
Well, I joined, we didn't invent a special route in. And what we have done is try to encourage both the prospective older teachers and the schools of how much we have to offer. So I trained in exactly the same way as a 22-year-old would have trained in. So I don't think that the training itself needs to be different because everyone needs to learn to teach in the same way. It's just that there needs to be a willingness on both sides, both on the sides of the employer and on the side of the 50-something to think this is a really good idea. I mean, just as an indication of how weird it was, you're talking to me today. When I quit the FT to become a teacher, it was a national news story. I mean, that is insane. It should have just been yes, here's another.
How easy was it to shift?
Well, there are all sorts of things that are hard. I mean, you go from doing something that you're good at because you've been doing it for a very long time into something that you're absolutely hopeless at. So, that is a bit of a shock to the system. And it's those sorts of things that we need to be prepared for. I mean, as children's, people say to you, what do you want to do as when you grow up, as if there was only one thing. And it really, really shouldn't be like that. I mean, but there is obviously a financial element too, that if you are going to retrain, that there are going to be serious financial implications for you. But what I would like to see is that, right from the beginning, we're taught to accept that as normal and we plan for it financially. That our salaries aren't going to go on going up, that there may be some severe dips along the way as we start again doing something different.
Lucy, thank you so much. Lucy Kellaway, who's now the founder of Now Teach, encouraging other people to make the shift exactly that Lucy did from one profession into the other.